Yin and Yang, Black and White, Saurav and Devapriya Roy. You may have guessed by now that I am talking of opposites. The law of motion says opposite poles attract, and this young couple in the next story couldn't be more disparate. One is a hardcore economics graduate who's passionate about global energy, and the other a word-loving freelance editor. But even opposites have a common love, and in this case you're about to find out what that is.
He loves all things clean and clear, and she loves all things vague. He wouldn't pick the chick-lit books at a bookstore, and she wouldn't choose the geophysical or nuclear science books. Differences aside, this young and effervescent relationship of Saurav and Devapriya has bubbled over to bring out the writers in them. But what does each think of the other's work?
The Upside Down Book of Nuclear Power is an ambitious book. It seeks to demystify the area of nuclear power to the lay reader, to the reader who doesn't really know much about the energy debates or about the Indo-US nuclear deal. And it's done in this unique format. It's like an inverted glossary, which is why it's an upside-down book.
Reviewing your wife's work is always a difficult proposition because you have to get it right, really. To sum up the Vague Woman's Handbook, I would say it's a beautiful love story, which is similar to Eric Segal's love story, but Jenny doesn't die in this one, and it's written from Jenny's perspective. So it details the trials and tribulations of the young couple as they begin with a marriage. It doesn't have any of the really tragic elements that probably characterize Eric Segal's love story, but it has a lot of the humor.
Now, if you were not married to the author of this book, would you pick that book up in a bookstore?
I would. Purely because the title is quite, it's quite interesting. The Vague Woman's Handbook. Anything handbook attracts me, to be honest. I'm a geek. Okay, so I read a lot of technical handbooks. So the moment I see the word handbook, I would be attracted to it.
Much like the straightforward, objective person that he is, Saurav's The Upside Down Book of Nuclear Power holds a hard-hitting story with 26 chapters written in the order of the English alphabets, coupled with an essay at the end. In an easy-to-read format, the topics delve into resource availability, policies on nuclear power, economics and geopolitics.
As a man, if you slip up and that you're not, as successful as somebody would want you to be, the Vague Woman would not leave you, for instance, and also she would sort of, be a support while you need her. So big bad world of men, of nuclear power, of geopolitics, and so has pressures of its own, just like the world of women does.
The Vague Woman's Handbook may seem like a frothy read on the surface, but this is a book written with maturity. It's not exactly a handbook in the conventional form. The characterization and the storyline keeps the reader turning the pages until the very end. And the book, Devapriya says, is no way autobiographical.
No more thinking about a second bottle and saying, "What's the hell?" and giving in. Tomorrow I'll be jogging at full throttle to make myself successful, rich and thin.
Together on the same stage, the couple was in Chennai to share their thoughts on their books. A private gathering of readers and well-wishers took a front row seat to see how this young, dynamic duo work with such chemistry, although the laws of physics say otherwise.
A regular, visitor for these types of book launch in Landmark. I have never seen such a launch here. A lot of interaction with the crowd, and they are very passionate. Very young, very passionate, very much educated, and they have come up with two, great books. Even though it's very diverse, but still I appreciate that and wish them all the best.
First book actually is a gist of so many other things regarding the nuclear deal, and would be very nice for us to read and know more about, and know the consciousness of the nation, the government about the nuclear deal. And regarding the second book, I felt that what she said, the Vague Woman's Handbook, when she sent me the invitation, I read the invitation, and I felt that vagueness was something which was really missing in women, in the sense we always, even the family, the husbands always want you to be very objective to the kind of work you do.
And putting their mutual love on the road, this ever-evolving, talented duo are backpacking across the country with a set budget. Now that's not all. They are in the process of chronicling this journey together with vivid detail in their upcoming book, The Dust and Heat Project.
The Heat and Dust project is this budget journey across India, a kind of hysterical tour de farce. It's a motorcycle diaries without the motorcycle. So we've travelled about 12,000 kilometers only on local buses. Once we took a train. So we travelled right from Delhi, then we did Rajasthan and Gujarat, then we travelled through Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu through buses, and then we finally ended the second leg in Chennai when we finished all our money. So then we saved up some more, and we are now back in Chennai to begin the third and final leg of the Heat and Dust project.
That is one story that is quite interesting. I wonder, if I were to buy both the books, which one would I read first? The details of the mystery of nuclear power or the mystery of the power of womanhood? Very interesting subject that has been puzzling everyone from time immemorial. Talking of things that are puzzling, imagine this: an IT hub, tall skyscrapers, construction work going on day in and day out. Can you imagine a mini bird sanctuary in the middle of all this? No? Then you need to stay hooked on to our next story. The pheasant-tailed jasana is unmistakable with its bright yellow plumage and their ability to walk on floating vegetation in shallow lakes. But it is not quite the same reason these birds are making news in Chennai for the past few months. When naturalist Tirunaranan saw this wetland in the heart of a concrete software hub, he couldn't believe his eyes.
This wetland has been very long time here, and it is well connected to this Heartland-Ndtv. We have been monitoring this wetland for a very long time, but for the last 4 months there is a lot of grasses, rushes under there. It makes me attention to this wetland. I have seen a lot of percentile jasanas moving here and there, at about 60 to 70 percentile jasana. This is the second place where I have seen. It makes me so surprised, and it's also breeding here. It makes it's a great survival of this bird. Even though it's high tolerant, it makes me surprised.
Although the pheasant-tailed jasana is the bird that is making most heads turn, it is not the only bird to have found solace in this wetland. The flock of egrets, the attractive purple heron with its conspicuous large spread of wings, are some of the many birds that can make anyone mistake this marshy land to be a mini bird sanctuary.
After seeing the wetland is so heavy with birds, I find percentile jasana only is the bird. So we started counting and regular monitoring the birds for about 15 to 20 days. We started counting the birds, and we find about 35 to 40 species of different species of birds, and total number comes about to 800 numbers of birds. So in the major population flocks are percentile jasana, and another one surprise makes me that the purple heron, which is very endangered and we can't able to see in Vedandangal also. It's about 15 to 16 birds. And we find migratory teals and pelicans, and we also cited about open-billed stork and all. Totally we find about 35 species. So it makes me, this place should be conserved for the better future.
Although the view is majestic, the hope that it will survive the onslaught of construction is minimal. With Sholingalur rapidly growing as a software hub of the city, the efforts of naturalists like Tirunaranan are at an all-time peak to preserve this natural heritage.
This wetland is in the center of heartland of software. Lot of development has been going on. So there is also possibility of such kind of development in this wetland. But it should be conserved for the human beings and the avifauna species in this area, and it will receive a lot of rainwater into the Heartland-Ndtv. So I emphasize to all the people, medias and other government agencies not to done any kind of development in this area to conserve the wetland. Not only for the birds, for the better human being also.
Thankfully, he is not alone in this endeavor. Quite interestingly, many software professionals like Balaji have taken up this cause as well. When he is not busy punching codes into his computer, Balaji sets out with his camera and believes that there is still hope.
I started this bird watching 2 years ago, but the bird watching was started with a passion for photography. But as days passed, my passion for photography changed into a passion for nature. So now I come to this, not many times I come with this camera. Most of the times I come to this place just to watch these birds and enjoy being with nature. And this being into the city, there are many places like this which are under conservation and which need to be conserved. So these places kind of give us a very peaceful and nice atmosphere, and it makes a very good eco-friendly environment for us.
In our memory section up next, we meet someone who saw dance come to life. Stay tuned.